All righty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to GSA 101. My name is Paula Lockhart. I'm GSA's Associate Director, and I am so incredibly happy to be here with you all today. So while we have some more people rolling in, if you could go ahead and just introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know who you are and what county you're from. Hi, Cindy from Fayette. Hi, Don from Kenton. Haley from Woodford, what's up? Hello, Star. Hey, Josie. Hey, Wynn. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Aiden. Okay. Ooh, we got so many folks here tonight. Solana, that is a beautiful name. Hi, Ben. Hi, Everett. Hi, Audrey. Oh, so many amazing people here tonight. I am so excited to be here. So for those of you all who are just joining us, my name is Paula Lockhart. Hey, Owen. I'm GSA's Associate Director, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to GSA 101. Round of applause for GSA 101. Sorry, y'all. I'm very cheesy like that. So in this presentation, we're going to review what Kentucky's Governor's School for the Arts, or GSA as we call it, is all about. We're also going to discuss the types of students we're looking for, and we'll provide an overview of the application process. Additional virtual info sessions that dig further into the application process are going to be held later this fall. So be sure to stay tuned to GSA's website and our social media channels for continued updates, okay? Now, today's session is being live streamed on Facebook and recorded. The recording is going to be made publicly available in a few days. We'll have some time for Q&A at the end of this presentation, so feel free to enter your questions into the Q&A box, okay? Awesome. And we're going to try to keep an eye on our Facebook stream as well, just in case you all joining us in Facebook land have any questions too. Now, if you're attending this survey in real time, this presentation in real time via Zoom, you're going to receive a survey at the end of this presentation. Please, please, please complete the survey as your responses help us track our recruitment efforts, and we seek to be as helpful and as far-reaching as possible. So any feedback that you give us would be mostly amazing. Not mostly, it'd just be all the way around amazing. Awesome. Okay. So before we get started, I am going to launch a poll so we can see who's joining us. All righty. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll now. And I'm going to give you all a few moments to answer the questions. Okay. Oh, y'all are answering away. Great job. Ooh, we're almost there. All right, about another minute or so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the poll. So it looks like most of the folks joining us are high school students in either 10th or 11th grade, which means you all are eligible to apply for GSA. That's awesome. We got about 11 parents or guardians of some potential applicants. Thank you all so much for joining us and for being a total amazing supporter of the arts. And then we also have some guidance counselors or school personnel. I hope you all know that you can also request a virtual info session if you feel like you may need us to drop by your school virtually or in person. Look on GSA, KentuckyGSA.org for that information as well. And then we have some some teachers of potential applicants. That's amazing. All right, so, oh my goodness, it looks like across the board, we got someone that is interested in everything. About 9 folks interested in architecture and design, 13 here for creative writing, some dancers in the house, 13 folks for drama, of course, film and photo, instrumental music, musical theater, visual art is taking the cake with 21 folks, and vocal music. All right, this is amazing. So we have just a little bit of everything represented. Kudos to you all for being here. Okay, so thank y'all so much for filling out the poll. We really appreciate it, and it lets us know what everyone's interested in and how we can continue to serve you all. All right, so before we hop into the presentation, I want to take a moment to introduce the other full-time GSA administrators who I have the honor and privilege of working with all year long. They are some of the best people in the world. So I'm going to start with Jessica. Jess, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Jessica Graham. I'm from Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, so representing Western Kentucky today. I am a GSA alumni from 2007, so from drama, so excited to see all the drama students and of course anybody that's here today. We're so excited to have you. Be sure to drop any questions that you have in the Q&A so Dean and I can answer.
Awesome, thank you, Jess. Dean, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Dean Allen Muir. I'm the alumni coordinator. I am a 2005 musical theater GSA alum, jazz hands. And I actually saw, I went to high school at Trimble County High School, and I saw there was Paige from Trimble County. So, hey, represent. I don't think there's been an applicant from Trimble County in quite some time. So I'm excited to see everybody here and excited to jump on into the webinar with everyone.
Awesome. Dean and Jessica, thank you all so much. So just so you all know, our administration structure, there are 5 of us who work all year long. So you see Jess, Dean, and myself, and there are 2 other folks who work with us, but they are currently not here at the moment. Nick Cobalt, he is our executive director, and Aminata Ja Finch, and she would say you can call her Ami for short. Ami is our program coordinator. So when you all email the GSA info box, it is one of the 5 of us who could see that email at any given time, and we will be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, okay? All right, so as just stated, we do have the Q&A feature, so please feel free to put your questions in the Q&A box so we can make sure that at the end of our presentation, we are answering all of your questions, okay? No questions shall go unanswered, unless it's something that I don't know. Then I'm gonna say I don't know, and I'll ask Nick. But, you know, we're gonna, fingers crossed that doesn't happen tonight. All right, y'all. So if you give me a moment, I am going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. You know, if it lets me. While I'm dealing with some technical difficulties, how many of you all are great at technology? Let me know in the chat. We got any folks who are great at technology? Ooh. Wow, I'm okay. Give me 1 second, friends. All right, I'm gonna pause that. Okay. All righty. Can you all see my screen? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes in the chat? Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, y'all are amazing. So, first things first, what is GSA? So, simply put, the Governor's School for the Arts is a community of artists that empowers Kentucky's next generation of creative leaders. The primary way we accomplish this, and the reason that you're likely watching or participating right now, is through the summer program. GSA Summer Program is a 3-week residential program for high school age artists that takes place on a college campus. Students are immersed in an intense, challenging, but exhilarating learning environment in one of 9 art forms. While each student focuses on one art form that they are attending GSA for, interdisciplinary collaboration is a major part of GSA. This means that students are exposed to and engage with other art forms aside from the one that they're here for. So as I mentioned before, GSA has 9 core art forms. They are architecture and design. And when we think about architecture and design, it is not just like building houses. Say you like to design furniture. Say you like to design clothing. Architecture and design could be for you. There's our creative writing program. And with creative writing, we focus on poems and prose and playwriting. So there's a little bit for everyone. There is dance, which focuses on ballet, modern, and dances of the African diaspora. There's drama, film and photography, instrumental music, which instrumental music is pretty cool. I enjoy it because every year the class is made around the instrumentalists that we have. So that means that there's no like real there's no set number of like percussionists that we bring in each year, or a set number of like trombonists that we bring in each year. There's musical theater, visual art, and then vocal music. So again, you can apply for up to 2 art forms. However, you will if you are accepted into 2, you will only be able to go for 1, unfortunately. So class sizes vary amongst each art form, and generally we take class sizes based off the level of interest that we see in any given art form's applicant pool. So about the largest art form is instrumental music. So that's about 50 student spots that are expected to be in each of GSA's 2 sessions this year. Visual art is about the next largest, with about 40 student positions in each session. And then some of the smaller art forms are architecture and design. They get about 16 students, along with film and photo. So most other art forms tend to have a class size that's in the upper 20s or the lower 30s per session. And as you heard me say, there are indeed 2 sessions of GSA Summer Program, thanks to expansion funding we received from the Kentucky Department of Education in 2022. All art forms take place at both sessions, with the exception of architecture and design that takes place during session 1 only, and dance, which hosts 40 students and is in the 2nd session only. So class sizes for 2023 have not been solidified yet, so keep in mind that these numbers may shift slightly. So the best thing about GSA is that all of this is provided at no cost to the students. GSA does not charge tuition, room, board, or any other fees for attending the program. Keeping the program tuition free has been an important part of our mission since GSA was founded in 1987 as a partnership between the Commonwealth of Kentucky and Kentucky Performing Arts, a nonprofit in Louisville with a statewide mission. You might also know Kentucky Performing Arts as the Kentucky Center for Performing Arts. And you know, I'm in a little bit of a celebration mood, so I'll let you all know that this is our 35th anniversary. So happy birthday to GSA. Before we dive further into what the summer program looks like, let's talk about GSA values. What do we believe in? What's important to us? First of all, we believe artists are vitally important to society. If you are passionate about your art form, that means you. You are important. You are an artist, and artists make vital contributions to our society. They innovate, problem solve, and inspire. Artists spark empathy, joy, social dialogue, and human connection. GSA's role is to connect young artists to affirmation, empowerment, resources, and quality educational opportunities toward a future where they can be the best version of their creative selves. And we know that behind every artist is a network of support from educators, mentors, family, friends. So if you are here as a guardian, or if you're watching this as a guardian or teacher, or just a cheerleader for young artists, know that GSA is here for you too. Your support and mentorship of young artists is vitally important. Thank you for being an arts hero. In all things GSA, you can expect to encounter the following values. GSA is uplifting. We believe each of us is capable and deserving of a bright and abundant future. GSA is open and communicative. We celebrate the differences between us and seek out the commonalities we might not have realized we share. GSA is community. We live, learn, and grow together as many individuals contributing to something greater than the sum of our parts. GSA is trust and integrity, because without accountability and honoring our commitments to each other, we can't access the next three values: authenticity, vulnerability, and resilience. At GSA, we dare to be our true and best selves, embracing our quirks, growing and learning together, courageously sharing our unique voices with the world, and celebrating each person's worth. GSA is also all about Kentucky love, which is with students coming from all corners of the Commonwealth. We discover the cultural richness of our state and develop our roles in creating the future we want for our home. And of course, GSA is all about creativity and innovation. After all, we're all artists. We flip the script, we pivot, we design a brighter tomorrow, and we bring color to everyday life. So, what kind of students is GSA looking for? Let's see. So to be eligible to apply for next summer's program, you must be a high school sophomore or junior in Kentucky. If you're not quite old enough to apply for GSA, keep coming to our webinars, or if you're viewing this on Facebook or on YouTube, keep watching this video. You can start preparing yourself to be a competitive GSA applicant in the years to come. It may come as no surprise that GSA is looking for students who exhibit skill in their art form. We want to ensure that every GSA student is up for the challenge of an intense 3-week experience in their artistic discipline. However, don't be discouraged if you feel you haven't received a lot of formal training, or if you feel like you don't measure up to other young artists in the state for one reason or another. Just as much as we are looking for proven artistic skill, we are also looking for artistic potential. Plus, the only way you can guarantee that you won't get into GSA is by not applying. The application process is designed to help you prepare for future opportunities, like college applications. So it's a learning experience no matter what. And remember, everyone at GSA, including the adjudicators who score your application, are cheering you on. We want you to do well, and we recognize the ambition and courage it takes to submit your application. So go for it. Put yourself out there. Equally as important, GSA looks for students who are passionate about their art form. We aren't just interested in what you create, but we're interested in why you create it. Think about what you accomplish through your creativity. Do you want to make other people smile? Do you want to spark change? At GSA Summer Program, we live, breathe, and eat art. So we're looking for students who exhibit the level of passion and motivation it takes to dive into an opportunity like this one. We're also looking for students who exhibit an ability to collaborate with an open mind. GSA Summer Program is a diverse group of Kentuckians of different identities, perspectives, and walks of life. Students are expected to not only live with people different from themselves, but also create with them. Together, we can co-create a powerful community that is larger than, but dependent upon our individual contributions. And of course, we're also looking for students who are eager to learn. GSA is designed to challenge you, to present you with new methods, ideas, and concepts. So we're looking for students who are excited to keep growing. We know sometimes it can feel uncomfortable to be challenged, but that's where the trust and support of GSA comes into play. We all learn and grow together. It's also worth emphasizing that GSA seeks and welcomes applicants of all backgrounds and identities. This means we seek young artists from across the continuum of and at the intersections of race, gender, identity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, hometown setting, mental and physical health or ability, language, religious belief, political leaning, or cultural background. Excuse me. Translations of our materials are available upon request, and while the GSA application is online, students without access to reliable internet can contact us via phone to discuss how we can accommodate the application regardless. All in all, we seek a student body that represents the richly diverse life experiences and perspectives of Kentucky. Because a very profound way for us to grow is for us to all learn from people who are different than ourselves. So let's dig a little further into the summer program, shall we? What's it like? How will you spend your time? Do you have to do your own laundry? I know those are all like very important questions. I was being sarcastic if no one caught that. Sorry for my terrible dad jokes. Alrighty, so on the first day of the program, students move into their residential hall and attend an opening ceremony with their guardians. Then it's time to say goodbye to your family for 3 weeks. That's right. Once guardians leave campus on opening day, there is no visitation for the entire duration of the program. For some of you, that might be exciting news. And for others, that might sound a little scary, but fear not. Throughout GSA, you will be surrounded by compassionate residential staff, faculty, and a mental health counselor to help you cope with any stress or homesickness that might arise. One thing to note is that students are not allowed to have their cell phone outside of their dorm room, but you can always call your family and friends at the end of the day. So on the second day of the program, we hit the ground running. Each day begins with a provided breakfast, followed by a morning session that is attended by the entire school, and a Q&A with the artists from a variety of fields and careers. So this is a great way to learn about other art forms, and you might even discover careers in the arts that you never even knew existed. This is some of the interdisciplinary aspect that I was mentioning earlier. Then it is off to class, or studio time as we call it here at GSA. Studio time can consist of many different activities that vary based on your art form or focus. This can be classes, workshops, rehearsals, demonstrations, field trips, independent work time, and more. You receive personalized training from a variety of experts in your field, developing mentorships that can last a lifetime. After 3 hours of morning studio, we break for lunch. The afternoon consists of a 4-hour studio period before heading to dinner. Then in the evening, oh, you guessed it, we head back to studio. Well, most nights anyway. Some evenings will consist of an all-school assembly featuring a performance or a presentation that's more fully produced in the morning session. Either way, students are often occupied until 10 p.m. When you finally return back to the residential hall, students can hit the hay or they can socialize, but lights out are by midnight. It is worth noting that days at GSA are longer than typical school days. So depending on where you're at, you might be at school from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., but the GSA day, as we see here, starts at 9 a.m. It can sometimes go until 10 p.m. So make sure you're getting your rest in. Whilst GSA Studio takes place 7 days a week, we start 1 hour later on Saturdays, and students have free time on Sundays until afternoon studio. However, depending on the program needs, students might have to do activities before studio on the weekends. On Sundays, transportation to nearby houses of worship can be arranged for students by GSA staff. And there are only 2 days without studio. One of these days is typically an all-school event, such as a field trip or the college fair, and the other day is geared toward rest, and activities are planned by the residential life staff. Residential life. Now, back at the dorm, the students do experience a rich residential life program. Each student is assigned to a residential advisor, or an RA for short. You can think of your RA as sort of a GSA mom or dad. They live in the dorm and serve as mentors who support your ability to have a successful and fun GSA experience. Each student is a member of their RA's group, which consists of other GSA students from different art forms in various parts of the state. You can think of other students in your RA group as like GSA siblings. While you can spend plenty of time socializing outside of your RA group, they're a regular cohort of fellow young artists who you'll have regular communication and bonding time with. GSA students tend to develop friendships at the program that last a lifetime. After all, in our everyday life at home, being an artist can often set us apart from others. But at GSA, it's what we all have in common. This creates a very special type of bond. So even though much of GSA is spent in studios, RAs organize a variety of fun activities for students outside of class time. This can include exercise or sports groups, coffee house, which is a talent show, spirit week, crafts, and skill building groups. As I mentioned in an earlier slide, the RAs help plan and execute one of our 2 free days. The 2022 free day was called Swinter Field Day, and Swinter is a combination of summer and winter. This day had an assortment of like indoor and outdoor activities, which included a spike ball tournament, cookie decorating, and a volleyball tournament. The day ended with a school dance. And while we encourage everyone to participate, this can also be an opportunity to have a lazy day in your dorm too. The GSA summer programs take place on the beautiful campus of the University of Kentucky, located in Lexington. Students live in Holmes Hall, UK's fine arts residential hall, that features not only state-of-the-art student living spaces, but also a dance studio, a writing lab, an art lab, and practice rooms. Each GSA student is assigned a roommate from a different art form and a different county. Students share a 2-bedroom suite, meaning each student shares a bathroom and a living space with one other person. But each student has their own individual bedroom. Room layouts for Holmes Hall are available on the University of Kentucky's website if you'd like to learn more. Now, floors are assigned by gender, and we work with non-binary and transgender students to ensure they have a customized housing situation that is comfortable for them. Beyond Holmes Hall, students experience a wide array of stunning facilities at UK, including meals at Champion's Kitchen, which is located in the newly built Student Center, as well as the School of Arts and Visual Studies, the Singletary Center for the Arts, the Fine Arts Building, and the Schmidt Vocal Art Center. Throughout their time on campus, students are held to a high code of conduct agreed upon prior to the summer program. Oh, and to answer the question in the previous slide, yes, you have to do your own laundry. GSA is a great session in a great lesson in independence and self-sufficiency. So on the final day of the program, family and friends are invited back on campus for a day of creative celebration. All students showcase their work in some form or fashion. The day is full of performances, readings, gallery exhibitions. It's quite outstanding. And then the day concludes with a graduation ceremony and everyone heads home for some well-deserved rest. But the GSA experience does not end after the summer program. GSA has a lifelong commitment to our alumni, supporting them toward quality and accessible college, supporting them toward a quality and accessible college experience, and championing them as creative citizens for decades to come. GSA alums receive scholarships to nearly 30 colleges and universities across the country. A full listing of the scholarships is available in the alumni section of our website. GSA alums also receive significant college and career coaching by way of the college fair during the summer program, an exclusive opportunity to meet with college reps during our fall college and career day event, and through continued mentorship with GSA faculty and staff. Alums are also eligible to apply for GSA's Toyota Alumni Fund, which provides $5,000 a year in grant funding to support alumni artistic development. Isn't that amazing? And of course, students are connected to nearly 7,000 other GSA alums who are creating exciting work in a variety of fields across the globe. Oh, how great is that, y'all? So the application process overview. So hopefully by now we have you like on the edge of your seat and you're like, GSA sounds so perfect. How can I apply? Well, you're in the right place because right now we're going to talk about the application process. So first off, some big picture things to note about the application process is that each student must complete an online application to be considered for GSA 2023. As we mentioned earlier, students without reliable internet access are encouraged to contact us via phone about accommodations. The entire process from GSA from start to finish includes 2 rounds. The first round is completely virtual. Every student who submits an application will be considered in this virtual round. Then some applicants are invited to participate in a second and final round of auditions and interviews. This gives them a designation of being a GSA finalist. The GSA class is selected from the GSA finalists, aka the applicants who have advanced to the second round. Throughout the entire process, we will never ask you for your GPA, SAT, or ACT scores. While we know these are commonly used indicators of student success, we seek out other indicators of your fit for the GSA program. Students can apply for up to 2 art forms. As we know, artists are often multidisciplinary. Instrumentalists, you can apply for 2 different instruments if you desire, but that will count towards your 2 art forms and you will not be able to submit a 3rd application. There is a $30 application fee collected just before you submit your application. This fee increases to $35 if you apply to 2 art forms. Students on free or reduced lunch can have this fee completely waived by the click of a button in the application, no questions asked. We seek a diverse student body across the entire state. There are no demographic acceptance quotas for GSA. This means we don't accept a certain number of students from each county or high school, nor do we seek specific quotas for gender, race, age, grade in school, etc. In lieu of quotas, GSA adjudicators review each applicant in the context of their artistic abilities, their potential, their access to resources, and the identities and perspectives they have to offer. Ultimately, choosing a GSA class that is prepared for the summer program experience and represents a vast array of Kentuckian experiences. You may be aware that GSA is one of 3 awesome Governor Schools programs in Kentucky. The other 2 being the Governor Scholar Program, GSP, and the Governor School for Entrepreneurs, that's GSE. Both GSP and GSE are awesome programs, and while all 3 programs are residential summer programs for talented high schoolers, note that our application processes are very different. A lot of people are especially familiar with GSP's application process because it significantly relies on the involvement of a student's high school. Take note that overall, GSA's application process has less formal involvement from the applicant's school than GSP's. And a student can apply for GSA without any kind of approval from their school. Schools do not, need to nominate students for GSA. And while we encourage students to consult with their teachers and counselors during the application process, it is possible for their role in your application to be limited to the recommendation forms, which we're going to discuss more in a bit. So everything you need to know about GSA, including the link to access the application, will be found at our website, www.kentuckygsa.org. Generally speaking, everything you need for the application will be in the section titled GSA 2023. Note that our website is embedded with the larger site for Kentucky Performing Arts, which manages performing arts spaces in Louisville. So if you accidentally click a link that takes you to a page about shows or tickets, just go back to the previous page or go back to our home page using the URL kentuckygsa.org. On our website, you're going to find a very important document for your art form that's called an applicant guide. There are 9 applicant guides in total, 1 for each art form. Now, I cannot emphasize this next point enough. Please, 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 please read your applicant guide for your art form in full before you start the application process and consult it often throughout the application process. This year's applicant guides have already been made available, and you can see them on our website right now. The applicant guide should be your one-stop shop for all information you will need during the application process. The applicant guide includes a description of your art form's curriculum during the summer program, an overview of what you need to submit in the online application, an overview of what you will be asked if you advance to the final round, the criteria for the application you will be scored on, and a list of tips from the adjudicators. If you have lingering questions after reading the applicant guide, check out GSA's frequently asked questions document or contact GSA staff with a question. And we're going to provide the contact information at the end of this webinar. Along with the applicant guides, I'm going to give a shout out to my colleague right now. Jess made an amazing video called an application walkthrough video, and this shows you how to create the application. It is also available on our website right now. So as you dig into the applicant guide, here's an overview of what every applicant has to submit as a part of their initial GSA application. As I mentioned, the application is already live. It's available right now, and it is due by end of day, January 8th. You can start and stop your application as you please. Just make sure you're saving your work along the way. So when you click the Apply Now button on GSA's website, you're going to be moved to GSA's application portal, which is a separate website called Accepted. In Accepted, you will create a profile and then proceed with your application. Now, while the GSA team is here to answer your questions about the application, Accepted has their own technology support team you can contact if you are experiencing any serious technology glitches. A quick note, Accepted is not misspelled on this slide. The final E in the word is omitted in the application platform's name. Accepted is also used for applications at various collegiate arts programs. So hopefully this won't be your last time using Accepted. Students will be asked some basic demographic and contact information. Then we'll be asked to identify 2 recommenders. Applicants provide contact information for each recommender. And then Accepted emails each recommender an online form to fill out. You never have to submit a letter of recommendation or turn anything in on behalf of your recommenders. It is so easy, y'all. We strongly encourage you to complete this part of the application process as soon as you can, so it gives your recommenders more time to complete the form before the January 8th deadline. Both recommenders will complete the same form, in which we'll ask about your artistic abilities and potential, how you contribute to your overall learning environment and or community, and your overall character and fit for GSA. If you have mentors or teachers who know your artistic work, they are probably the best people to complete these forms. If you don't, no worries at all. Simply choose someone who knows you as a student or contributing member of a group or organization, like a club, youth group, sports team, etc. Your recommenders can be teachers from inside of school or outside of school, mentors, community leaders, school administrators. Their job title matters less, and their ability to speak to your strengths matters more. Be sure to contact recommenders in advance of filling out the application and let them know they should be on the lookout for the recommendation forms in their inbox. And so you can tell them why you think they should give you a glowing recommendation. Next, students across all 9 art forms will respond to 2 essay prompts. One response will be written and the other will be a video of a verbal response. Students will also respond to some art form specific questions about their experience and interest in their area. From there, students are prompted to submit images, videos, and documents specific to their art form requirements. Again, carefully review the applicant guide so you know what is required for your art form specifically. For some art forms, this will be as simple as 1 or 2 uploads. For other art forms, you'll need to create multiple short videos. Give yourself plenty of time to gather your materials by reading the applicant guide as soon as possible. And remember, we are so excited to see your artwork and review your application. Now, we know it can be intimidating to submit your work for scoring and judging, but know that we want you to do well and will be impressed with the ambition, discipline, and courage you exhibited by submitting an application in the first place. So as we start to wrap up the presentation, let's once again review a timeline of important dates for GSA applicants. So we are here on October the 11th. Whoop, whoop. So November 14th and December 1st, we will be having GSA 101 webinars again. And this day has already passed, which means the application portal is now open. The applicant guides have been released and the application walkthrough video is released as well. All of these things can be found on our website. October 17th through November 18th, we will be having art form specific webinars with adjudicators. So we're going to host 1 webinar per art form during the months of October and November, where we'll chat with the faculty members about the application process and what GSA is looking for in applicants in each specific art form. Dates for each art form's webinar, as well as the registration links, are now available on our website. So please go and look at those dates and register if you have not already. So again, on November 14th, we're going to host today's webinars once more. So if you have a friend who missed today, encourage them to join us then. Also, remember a recording of today's session will be available from our website and on YouTube in the coming days. Now remember, these webinars are not the only way to get your questions answered. You can email us too. The GSA 2023 application is due by end of day, January 8th. Note that this is a Sunday and the GSA office is not staffed on the weekends. This means that January 6th, Friday, January 6th, is the last day to call or email us with any questions. Do not wait until the last minute to upload your application, if at all possible. The application system will inherently run slowly as the more people submit their application in the final day or two. So do yourself a favor and get your application in nice and early. We recommend completing your application at least 1 week in advance of the January 8th deadline. Students will learn if they've advanced to the second and final round on February 17th, about 1 month before the final round auditions/reviews take place on March 17th and 18th. GSA's final round auditions and reviews will be hybrid, which means that some auditions and reviews will take place in person at the University of Kentucky, while others will take place online via Zoom. Full details are in each applicant guide. We are closely monitoring COVID-19 and will update the applicants should any changes arise. We will announce the GSA class of 2023 as well as alternates who are placed on the wait list on April 14th. Now, the dates of GSA 2023 are as follows. Session 1 is June 11th through July 1st, 2023. And session 2 is July 9th through July 29th, 2023. All students will attend one of the 2 sessions listed above. Students are assigned which session they attend and will learn which session they attend the same time that they've been accepted with the class announcement. Now, although most art forms take place in both sessions, again, please note that architecture and design will only be held in session 1 and dance will only be held in session 2. So what else can you be doing right now to prepare yourself to apply for GSA? Well, hopefully these final tips are fun ones. Dive into your art form every chance you can. Whether it's taking a class, practicing, sketching, or writing at home, or even just researching the work of other artists online. Learn and experience as much as you can, even if it's just on YouTube. And form opinions about what you see and learn. Why do you like or not like a piece? How do you see GSA's criteria in the work of other artists? Who are some artists you admire? Second, reflect on why you like engaging in the arts and what kind of artist you want to be. And then get comfortable talking to other people about it. We know it can sometimes be uncomfortable to talk about yourself as an artist, but you've got nothing to lose. Chat with your family and friends about your art form, your dreams for your artistic future, and how you want to grow. Maybe even ask them about their creative interests as well, even if it's cooking or crafting. It's a great way to prepare you for GSA and the application process. And it can also be a wonderful way to deepen your relationships with friends and family. Throughout all of this, remember that while GSA is a wonderful program, we are not the end all be all. We do not get to determine whether or not you are a good artist or whether you have a future in the arts. The GSA application process is competitive. We usually see between 1,200 and 1,400 applicants for our 512 spots, but don't let that hold you back. We hope you'll apply because you believe you deserve an opportunity like this one. If ultimately you aren't accepted into the program, our hope is that you feel proud for putting yourself out there and that you feel more determined and prepared for other opportunities. You are an artist and no one, including GSA, can take that away from you. So if at any time throughout the application process, you start to self-doubt, have second thoughts, or feel down about yourself, we hope you remember these next few things. You are enough. You are important. You are an artist, and your potential is limitless. No one can take that away from you. And don't forget, we are here to answer your questions and support your ability to put your best foot forward. You can contact GSA with any kind of question at 502-566-5685. 5192 between Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Or feel free to email us at gsainfo@kentuckyperformingarts.org. There are no scary adults or at GSA waiting to judge you. We love chatting with our applicants, and it is our pleasure and our job to help you out. Also follow us on social media. You can search our program name to find us on Facebook and our handle to find us on Instagram. And that is our handle right here at KYGSA. Oh my goodness, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to this virtual info session. So now that you are armed with all of this information, you are well on your way to being the best GSA applicant you can be. Now, keep in mind that we want you to keep in touch with us. We wish you good luck. And as we say at GSA, go forth and make great art. All right. Now we're going to spend some time in the Q&A. I see one question in Q&A right now. So I'm going to stop my screen and I'm going to give you all minutes, give you all a few moments to type up some questions, okay? All right. We got some. Okay, so I see a question from Solana. Solana says, if you are, and this is a great question, if you are an alternate, when would you know if you are accepted or not? So that is an interesting question. So we have, in the past, we have accepted students or like pulled students up from our applicant list as late as up to like 2 weeks before the summer session starts. So it really just depends. Solana, I hope that answered your question. If not, type another one for me, okay? All right. So portfolio for visual arts. Well, you have to create a physical portfolio if you advance. So the visual art final round reviews are going to be online. So we would still be viewing everything online. Does that make sense? All right. Are you able to request a certain session? That's an excellent question. Are you able to request a certain session if you are only able to attend one? Yes. So you will have the option to list like which session is your preference and why this is your preference. If you advance, you would list that in the other part of the application. Awesome. So I'm actually going to look and see at some of the questions that got answered already to see if maybe it's something for folks to know. So someone had a question about if we provide accommodations for those with disabilities. So we do our very best to come up with accommodations and treatment plans for individuals. Looking at this specific question, we tend to not have like parents stay with students unless it's something that we talk to, it's something that we talk through thoroughly in advance. So as like just stated, please reach out if you all have any questions about accommodations. I see a wonderful question here about medication that I want to answer. So students are responsible for taking their own medication. We currently don't have a residential nurse, so there's nothing where like you would come to the nurse's office and get your medication. You will be responsible for that. And then in terms of if there was a telehealth appointment that you needed to attend, those who are accepted list any like major conflicts or accommodations that they need. And so we try to do our best to work and accommodate all of those. So if you apply to 2 art forms, get accepted into both and only do one, this is an excellent question. So you can apply for up to 2 art forms. You will get accepted into and get to participate in 1 art form. And you can only go to GSA once. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over to our open questions. So Sarah, looking at your question for visual art, I do not know off the top of my head right now. However, what I recommend is that you bring this question to the visual art, the visual art form specific webinar, and Matthew Gaddy, who is the chair of the visual art program, he will be able to answer that question for you. It's a great question. I know it's probably preferred if we had classes on this beforehand, but what if we want to audition for an art form that we have no interest in, have a deep interest in, but no prior experience? Please, 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 please audition away. We are interested in artistic potential. We have a lot of GSA alums who literally, this was like maybe their second time auditioning and now work nationwide. So please, please audition. And if you have questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out. Are there any opportunities for those interested in audio engineering / music production? Thank you so much, Ben. This is a great question. So currently the vocal music program is more so classically trained music program. So it's something that like you're singing in the choir, you are doing voice lessons, things like that. So we currently don't have any type of like audio engineering / music production programs. However, if this is something that more individuals are interested in, as we think about what GSA looks like in the future, it is definitely something that we could consider. All right. Okay, so for dance, if you have knowledge of other programs, are those going to be utilized? So this is an excellent question. So at GSA, you know, we want everyone we love all dance. However, our dance programs focuses specifically on ballet, modern, and dances of the African diaspora. Now, we do have, dance does have guest artists that come in. So you like, depending on who the guest artist is, they may have something else that they, another style of dance that you may learn. But those are the 3 tenets. Those are the 3 tenets of the dance curriculum. Are there other places and time to do things like exercise throughout the 3 weeks? Yes. So the days are pretty filled. However, what has happened in the past is that like those who want to get up early those who want to like exercise can like go to the gym. Like there's an RA who will go to the gym with certain students. And that's typically done, it's real early, around 7 a.m. And so the idea is that you can go to the gym before breakfast and then have breakfast and then get ready for studio. Okay. Isabel, this is a great question. So you can only attend once. Does that mean if you apply and get accepted into 1 art form 1 year and attend that program, you cannot apply the following year as a junior for another art form? Correct. So if you attend GSA, if you apply to GSA as a sophomore and then attend GSA as going into your junior year, you cannot apply again. You can only go to GSA once. Now, if you apply and you don't get into GSA, you can reapply. I saw an excellent question on here about spending money. So we do suggest that students bring some type of spending money, because typically there are field trips that you go on so that, you know, you can have a little money to play with. However, all meals are provided, so you won't really have to worry about like, you know, having like bringing money for food every single day. All right, I'm just gonna scan through once more. Oh, got another question. Yes, allergies are accommodated. So once a student is accepted into GSA, they have to fill out some information on the platform called Camp Doc. This is where we get all medical information. So this is where you would list any dietary restrictions. That's the word I'm looking for. Any dietary restrictions or allergies that you had, and then we work with UK to make sure that we have meals to accommodate all of our dietary restrictions. All right, I want to just see what's happening here. All right. All right, y'all. Well, it's a little after 6:04. Do we have any other questions? Oh, I see another one. Yes, the musical theater program does include dance classes. It is quite phenomenal. I think Dean could speak to that if you emailed him. Sierra had a great question about alternates. How many spots are offered at how many alternate spots, excuse me, are offered at GSA? And what Dean said is spot on. There is no set limit. It just all depends on the need of the program and the art form. But students get they always get notified, if they are alternate or if they have been accepted this year, it's April 14th on class announcement day. So this is an excellent question from Cindy. If you apply to 2 art forms, is that 4 recommendations or just 2? Excellent question. So if you apply, as in you put in 2 applications, you will need to there's going to be 4 recommender forms that go out. You can make it go to the same 2 people for your application. So you don't have to worry about finding 4 different people. But if you know if you're a musician and your band teacher, and then your band teacher will be a great one, but then also the director of marching band will be a great person too. You can send both recommendation forms for each application to them. Sorry. All right. We get notified through email. Awesome. So what happens is that we typically do all of our messaging through Accepted. Once you have applied, that's where you're going to learn if you have made it to the final round or not. So everything comes through Accepted. Sometimes we send emails telling you to check your Accepted profile, but almost always all of the emails and communication will come through Accepted. Okay. All righty. It's about 6:07. Yes, Miles, musical theater does provide dance classes. And field trips are also free. Let's see if we got any more questions. Isabel had a great question. Isabel said, if I apply to GSA 1 year, can I apply for GSE or GSP the next year, or is it only one allowed at one time? So we have folks who have attended GSE and GSA in the same summer, but typically you cannot attend GSP and GSA during the same summer because our dates conflict too much. No apology, Cindy. If two art forms, yes, if there are two art forms, you only need two recommenders to fill it out. So if I'm one of your recommenders, you would list me on your first application and on your second application too. And then I would fill out both forms. Or if you want to, you can have it be two different people. It just kind of depends. Examples of field trips. That is an excellent question. So it really just depends on the art form. Visual art, this past year, they went to Bernheim Forest. Creative writing this past year, they went to, oh my goodness, the Underground Railroad / the Freedom Center. Who else has gone places? Now I can't think of any off the top of my head. But it kind of just depends. And of course, all field trips are free. Musical theater, in terms of the dance portion of it, after, if you have advanced, then there is a movement portion that you will have to complete before your final round auditions. And by complete, I mean, we send you a video of like choreography, and then you'll be asked to perform that choreography in a group. All righty. Any more questions, friends? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Not really, though. Okay. Well, Solana, that's a great question to close us out for the night. Email is it's one of the ways that you can contact us. Feel free to email us or call us. We are here for you. We are no stranger to getting lots of emails or lots of calls. So either way, whichever is most comfortable for you. Typically with our email, we try to have a no later than no more than 48-hour turnaround. And with the phone calls, if someone does not pick up the phone at that moment, one of us will give you a call back as soon as we can. So for visual art, the portfolio does not have to be physical, as visual art is going to be meeting their final round reviews are going to be online. However, please look at your applicant guide. It will have all those questions and it'll have all the information about your portfolio. And come to the visual art. Was where I'm looking for, the visual art form specific webinar. All right, everyone. So our next webinar is going to be the start of our art form specific ones. Yes. We're going to be starting with instrumental music on October 17th from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is going to be with Dr. Rich Bird. Rich has been with GSA for so long. Dr. Bird is amazing. And if you are interested in instrumental music, you're going to be in for a treat. So if you have not already, please go online and register for that webinar and the rest of our webinars. We would love to see you in attendance. Well, if that's all we got, please don't forget to complete the survey that's going to pop up on your screen after this. And if you have any other questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us via email or by telephone or by carrier pigeon. No, I'm joking. But just don't hesitate to let us know if you have any questions. We want to make sure that the application process is as smooth for everyone as possible. And if anyone has any needs any accommodations or anything like that, please let us know so we can do our best to work it on out, okay? All right, everyone. Good night. Thank you for coming.